different nachos.
Hello, you are listening and or watching the Nerd Edification Hour. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Kyle.
And in today's show, of course, we'll have your entertainment news. And then your Nintendo news has got a good bit of that. Then we'll have your nerd vocab. And after that, we'll have your video game news, which is a small amount because it is post E3. And then, of course, we'll have your technology news at the end of the show.
Oh, boy.
Now, before it happens again, we're having some technical difficulties with the lighting.
And we're the only ones here?
Yeah, so if there are any jump cuts, then just let you know. Don't be, surprised or anything, but that's probably because the lights went out in the middle.
It will probably be the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
So you'll be lucky if it happens.
All right. So first things first. What show is getting renewed on AMC?
Caleb, that would be Preacher.
Okay.
Preacher is getting renewed for a second season.
Yes, and I didn't know anything about this till I had to look. That's why I had to look it up. It's apparently got like sci-fi and supernatural, not sci-fi, but supernatural and Western elements kind of.
I can dig it.
Based off the DC comic book or something like that.
Yeah, I heard it's based off a comic book.
Yeah. So there you go.
And the only thing I know about it, besides what Caleb just edified to us, is that the commercials has a shotgun and an upside down church.
What could it mean?
What more do you need? What more do you need?
Is it mysterious? And anyways, so another show that deals with comics and stuff from the DC universe, in fact, is Arrow is introducing a character with a Green Lantern connection.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Me neither, because I don't really watch Arrow, but, that's just me. So it's in its 5th season now, and it's gaining a new cast member who bears close ties to the Green Lantern. But which Green Lantern, though?
How about Sky Gardner? Do you know who that is, Caleb?
No. Should I?
No.
Because I don't know.
He's a Green Lantern. I don't follow the Green Lanterns that much. My favorite Green Lantern lore is when Daffy Duck was a Green Lantern. From the short run Duck Dodgers cartoon show. Duck Dodgers in the 20-something and a half century.
Yeah. Was he Green Lantern? I thought he was just...
He became a Green Lantern for an episode.
For an episode? Okay. Interesting. Next up, Kyle, you like anime, right?
No.
Okay, well, too bad, because here, the new anime season's coming up, and so that means...
New
anime, exactly. So here's a couple of them that are coming around. First one on the list is going to be Berserk. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
He's big sword, guts.
I don't know anything about it. I just heard of Berserk.
But they're
all my weeb friends throwing out random Berserk words.
Yeah, pretty much.
I try to ignore it.
Well, they're reviving it, pretty much. They're doing you could do like an HD remake or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
It says Berserk 2016, so there you go.
Is that a series or a movie?
It will be a series.
Perhaps a manga?
Well, the manga's already... I think it's still going, actually, to this day. Which is kind of weird. But they're, I guess...
So weird.
Yeah. It is a bit weird. Rewrite. That's an anime. I don't know. I'm just naming off a couple on here. Love Live Sunshine.
That sounds incredibly Japanese.
Yeah. Let's see. First Love Monster.
This is why I don't involve myself with anime.
But that's like
it's
niche.
Weird.
That's niche stuff. But
it's all niche.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Now this one though, Food Wars, the second plate. Have you ever heard of Food Wars?
Ever heard of fighting food-ons?
No.
In the Fox box?
I love fighting food-ons, but no, it's not that. Food Wars is, I don't even know if I could talk about it on a family-friendly show. But
how can food be unfamily friendly?
Oh, you poor naive child.
It's about cannibals?
No. It is people, they make food, and then when they eat the food, their clothes pull off.
What?
Yeah. The food's so good, it makes them take their clothes off. I don't know, it's weird.
And there's an entire series about that?
An entire series.
That seems like it could be summed up in a 10-minute clip.
I've heard it's very good if you just, like, it has built-in censoring, so you don't actually really see anything, but it's
Is it so good that your clothes fly off? I'd like to try that.
Woo! Tales of Zestiria, the X.
Hysteria?
Yeah, Zestiria.
Zestiria?
Zestria? Zestria, something like that. Orange.
Is it the new black?
No, just orange. Budada. That's what it's called.
Banana?
Budada.
Is it orange banana? Or
Banana.
Bandana?
Banana. It's got two little kitty cats on the front.
Is this like the same thing as orange, or is these two separate animes that are both fruit?
They're just... I don't know.
It's very confusing.
I'm
confused.
People might be interested in this stuff, but there's not really any descriptions for some of these things. Puzzles and Dragons X. That's apparently an anime now.
Yeah, I know that was a
Puzzle
game.
and Dragons. But...
mobile phone game that was over there in
then
Japan.
The Mario one.
Yeah, I played the demo for that. And I wasn't impressed. I didn't understand what was going on.
Cheer Boys. Let's see. Is this part of the Fate series? Fate, Khalid, Linner, Prisma, Ilya, 3-Ray. That's a long title.
Say that 3 times fast.
Nope. It has Fate in it, so I don't know if it's part of the Fate series or not. Doesn't really describe it. I just have the list. Here's one you might like. Cute High Earth Defense Club Love.
Are any of those nouns adjectives? Are those all nouns?
Those are all...
Are there any adjectives in there?
No, just Cute High Earth Defense Club Love. There's a Regalia, the 3 Sacred Stars. What else? Amachu. I don't know what that's about.
You could be saying random things right now, and I wouldn't know the difference.
Qualita Code. I don't even know. Time Travel Girl. That's a broad name for an anime. Ooh, here's one that was made by the same guy who did One Punch Man, which I really want to just make you watch it. Just like if you ever see any anime, I just want you to watch One Punch Man. Is that good and that funny? But Mob Psycho 100 is probably one of the bigger names on this list that people are going to be looking at and saying, this better be good or it's going to suck. Which I know that's weird.
That's usually how it goes.
Exactly. But it's made by the same comic, the manga artist, I think. Or at least one is the manga artist who made One Punch Man, and Studio Bones is the animation team who is going to be behind it. Which Studio Bones, they're pretty good. The only thing they don't do well are sometimes they get a little ahead of the manga, so they have to make their own endings, and then sometimes the endings just don't match up with them. But hopefully that'll be good. I only thought this was a game, but Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak in High School Mirahan. There's some little
That sounds like a game.
Yeah. Danganronpa, it's the little...
Isn't that like penguins?
No.
No? What am I thinking?
There was a bear.
There's a bear? Is that
There's
the
a
one? There's like a bear and it's
bear.
half? Okay.
Danganronpa,
I've seen it before. It's like a black bear and a white bear.
Yeah.
Kind of like yin yang.
Yeah,
yin
but
yang?
apparently he's trying to murder an entire school or something like that. And then they have to go and figure. I don't know, but Danganronpa 3. Apparently it's a. I didn't know it was an anime as well. So that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Battery, the animation, and it has baseball dudes on the front. It's going to be a sports anime, so...
Like that?
Yes, baseball.
Not power batteries.
I think these are...
Energizer batteries.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. There's a couple of them. You can go and look for yourself to find the others. I think we're boring Kyle a little bit. I think he's getting a little freaked out. But here's something else that...
Actually, I'm really amused.
You're amused by the names? So, like cute high school love life. Earth Defender Club Love. That one.
You should string all those titles together and make one awesome anime.
I don't think that'd be possible. I think it would turn into a sonic boom. It tries to do everything, but it does nothing.
Oh, you mean the game?
Yeah.
They're talking about just like a sonic boom.
No, I'm talking about the game. The game we're not supposed to talk about. But Kyle, what in the Western world got announced?
No, this is something I can understand. We're getting Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yes.
And we've all had a hunch that would be coming because that was a pretty awesome movie.
It was, and I mean the ending where it left off, I thought it was okay. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do to make a second one. Like what kind of plot? Like I don't know what else they could do.
Go to some more video games war.
Go to a different arcade entirely.
Who knows? Something to do with video games.
Hey, maybe Mario will show up this time instead of his hat.
I have heard tales, some whisperings of whoever directed this wanting to have more involvement from Mario, which that would be cool.
Yeah, because Sonic was all over the place on the last one. He had 3 cameos.
But he wasn't actually in it. He was just like images of him, even though he's on like the cover of some DVDs.
No, he was actually in it when
and remember
when he's going through the escape pod, whatever, and he flies through the hallway. He actually runs into Sonic and knocks out some of his rings.
Does I missed that? I just thought he was on the public service announcement billboard saying, "Don't get caught in the games.
Don't die in other games, or you're gone forever."
Yeah.
No, he actually gets hit by the escape pod on the way out.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, I noticed it because I've seen it like 5 million times. But
that's a lot, Caleb.
That will hit theaters.
I think you're over exaggerating.
Nope, it will hit
for effect
on March 9th in 2018. So we have to wait for 2 years.
Not too bad.
So, going along with Wreck-It Ralph, talking about Mario, let's move on to Nintendo news. Kyle, what's going on with Nintendo? Why didn't they show us the NX?
The power went out again. Actually, I just lost my place. All right, so we're talking about the NX and why it wasn't at E3. Basically, Nintendo said that they didn't want to show anything because they're afraid of copycats. Which, to be honest, sometimes it does seem like people like to be a little influenced by Nintendo sometimes.
Like maybe 2 companies that, one starts with an S, the other starts with the Sony.
Which one starts with the S?
I mean, one starts with a Microsoft, one starts with Sony.
You know what I'm saying.
We're not naming any names or anything, but
no.
Maybe the Microsoft,
a few other people too,
Sony. But they said, yeah, they didn't want to show off the NX at E3 because there are copycats, and like I have had my suspicions of why they wouldn't do it, and I was right. Why they wouldn't want to do it, because Microsoft, Sony would be like, okay, we see your specs in your system, what it's supposed to do. Now we're gonna up you. So I can understand. Still a bit frustrating not seeing what it actually is, or what it's supposed to do, or how it's supposed to connect to the Wii U.
Or not connect to it.
Or not.
We don't know very much at all about it, except that Breath of the Wild is on it, and that's already a pretty powerful selling point.
It already looks so good, so I'm just wondering what it's going to look like on the NX.
It might look worse.
It's going to look like real people. That would be kind of weird.
It's actually just a reenactment of the game with real people.
You control real people as you move.
You get to control Miyamoto. Miyamoto reenacts the game for you.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be scary.
So, Kyle, are you a fan of Splatoon at all?
I was very interested in Splatoon when it was announced. I was looking forward to it a great deal. It looks very fresh and new to me, but I haven't played it at all.
Well, this weekend might be your last chance to get on and actually join in a Splatfest, because it's the final Splatfest for Splatoon.
And what is Splatfest?
It's basically where each you choose a side, like, oh, I like hot dogs, or I like hamburgers, or, I prefer...
So it's voting?
Water slides over roller coasters. Then you're placed in, like, the water slide team, and then your team, depending on how well your team does or how many wins and how many votes you get, then that will determine who wins. And then at the end of it, whether you're on the losing or winning side, on the losing side you get less... you get these sea snails. They're little crystal sea snails or whatever, and they can add slots to your certain like hats and your shoes and shirts and stuff like that. So you can have more slots, so you can pretty much upgrade them. Or you can re-roll one. Say if you get a shirt and all it has is... I'm trying to think of a thing. All it has is you throw your grenades throw farther or whatever, right?
Sure.
And you say, no, I don't want that. I want, like, defense on my shirt or something like that. So you can re-roll your random stats on your shirt.
So it's not voting.
No, it is.
It.
You vote to which side you want to be on, and then the game will take into account how many votes that is. They'll actually count towards your score a bit, but the overall victory that your team gets when you're facing each other, and that will determine if your team wins in the end or not.
Okay, I think I get it.
More so. But this Splatfest is going to be Callie versus Mari.
And those are those two musician squids.
Yep.
That everybody's in love with.
Team Mari. I wouldn't say I'm in love with them, but they are pretty cool. They wave at you in the game if you stare at them long enough, which is kind of creepy, but they wave at you.
Creepy that they wave at you, or creepy that you're staring
at them? Creepy that you're
staring
staring at them, and then they turn and wave at you. It's like, what? It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like their song. I'm not going to sing it now, because I don't have a good singing voice.
But I don't know the song. You should sing it so I could know.
I'll show it afterwards. I'm not singing on air. But... Yep, that's the final Splatfest, and I'm not going to be able to play it because I'm going to be at work all weekend, so it's kind of sad. Nah, I'm just wondering how they're going to give you snails afterwards, if they're going to give you any at all.
And the snails are the things that let you upgrade stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you give them to this guy, and he'll upgrade your clothes or re-roll your stats for you. So... Sorry if you made any plans for the weekend, but if you're playing Splatoon, this is it. All right. Moving on. I know you don't care about Pokemon news, so I'm just going to talk about this. There are 7 new Pokemon that were kind of leaked, air quotes, It wasn't in a Japanese trailer. Wasn't really intended for us, but that's not going to stop.
That's not a leak.
No, that's not going to stop Game Explain from putting it on its channel, though. So, 7 new Pokemon are as follows. Tapu Koko.
Sounds like
now,
candy.
These might not be the English names. These are what the Japanese names are. Currently, we don't know 100% if they're going to be in English like this. So, take this with a grain of salt as their names. But, Tapu Koko is a electric fairy that resembles a tiki statue Pacific Island Warrior kind of thing. It looked pretty cool. It looks like it has a big head, but when it opens up, it's
You
on
mean
the
like those
inside.
stone statue heads?
No, like a tiki head.
Tiki?
Yeah, like a tiki head. And it's got like these little beaks, which I guess are like its little hands. It's got little.
So it's like it's a bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like looking like a bird. And it's an electric fairy, which is a pretty cool type. Let's see. This one was weird.
Charjabug?
Charjabug, which is a bug electric type that resembles a boxy grub. It looks like a bus. Looks like a bus with little
Pinchers?
Yeah. It's got like these little spikes coming out of its face. It looks like a little bus because it's got little glass square eyes. I don't know. It was weird. It looked adorable. I'm like, that's kind of weird looking. But then when it evolves into a Vikavolt. I believe it evolved. Yeah, they showed it evolving into this. Vikavolt looks pretty awesome. I'm just gonna say it's a beetle and it's got these horns on it and it's flying and it's actually. I liked it. I'm like, I would catch that. I would catch the
I'd catch that.
I would catch the little bug grub so I can get that because that looks pretty cool. It is a bug and electric type, obviously. The let's see. Oh no, wait. Charjabug could be the evolution. I don't know. I might be getting this weird. Why would they do that? So on the script, I got this from someplace. They might have. Anyways, just moving on. So know that there's a bug electric type, and then Drampa looks Drampa. It is. It's a dragon grandpa. It looks like a dragon grandpa. No, it's got like this long neck and it's got this beard, and it's a normal dragon type, which is really odd. It's the first normal dragon type. And it looks like a grandpa dragon with a really long neck, and it's so weird. It looks like one of those
dragon candy.
looks like one of those. The body kind of looks like one of those sagging mop dogs. Does that makes
What?
Yeah, like like a shaggy dog.
Oh, they're like
little
white
sheepdogs.
They look like dreadlocks.
Not those mop dogs. The sheepdog. You ever seen Tim Allen?
They're like blind.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the eyes
like
over
a
there.
dragon.
Yeah, but just all white. It's pretty much what it looks like.
It's hard to picture.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to picture. I'd have to show you a picture. Brooksish is a water psychic fish with sharp teeth. And I'm going to say it looks like a hooker fish. Because it's got big lips. It's dressed in pink. Like pink and purple. It's like, what in the world?
Why does that make that a hooker?
I just don't know.
It's very closed-minded of you.
No, it's got big
Shame on you.
eyelashes and stuff.
Maybe it just wants to look pretty. No shame in that.
But it's got sharp teeth and stuff, and it has like a long mouth. Then we got a cutie fly. It is so cute. It is like a little fairy bug. It's a bug fairy type, and it's so small. And it's adorable. I don't know what else to say about that. It's supposed to be a mix between a gnat and a hummingbird.
That doesn't sound adorable at all.
But it is adorable.
I don't believe you.
Looks cute. Togedemaru. Togedemaru is an electric steel type Pokemon, and it looks like a little hedgehog. It is adorable. And I'm gonna name him Sonic. It's a hedgehog, and all it really is a ball, and it has a couple of different colored spikes, like orange and yellow, and then it's got a little electric kind of, I don't know if it's a tail, but it's something. See, I'm trying to say its head, but its whole body is its head with little feet at the bottom. So I don't know. I guess the little tail coming out of its head. It's a little lightning bolt. It looks cute. And the last thing is it's been confirmed that Zygarde can change form during a battle when its health reaches a certain level.
And that's the Pokemon from X and Y?
Yeah, that's the snake from X and Y, who didn't do anything. Who was supposed to be the balance, but he didn't really do anything, so... yeah. But, whenever, like, in the trailer, it knocked him down to about 3 HP or something like that. It knocked him down to the red. And then he transformed, and he's got his new perfect form. I don't know how that's all supposed to work, but, you know. I could definitely see this. Maybe people would give it a focus sash. So if it gets knocked out or whatever, it'll hang on to 1 HP and then it'll transform. Kind of heal itself up a bit. Because that seemed like what it did. Because it went from red to yellow in the trailer. Interesting concept.
So it only evolves when it's that low health?
It changes form. I mean, Pokemon have these different forms now. A lot of the legendaries do. Like Shaman, for example, or Giratina. They'll change form. Or even Kyogre and Groudon, they primal evolve during battle. So there's that. Kyle, what's going on in the eShop right now? The Nintendo eShop.
A game that is well loved by many, and played by many as well, actually came out today, right?
Yes.
Came out today, which will probably be yesterday for some of you. Or maybe weeks or months ago.
The day we're recording this on
The
Thursday.
day we're recording it, it's coming out. Super Mario RPG, which was originally came out for the Nintendo 64. I actually own a copy of it.
Was it on the 64? I thought it was on the Super
Nintendo.
Yeah. I think it was on the Super Nintendo.
What did I say?
You said 64.
Which came out on the Super Nintendo. I almost said Super Nintendo 64. The Super Nintendo, which was the one before the Nintendo 64. You couldn't play it on the Nintendo 64.
No.
You could try putting it in there, but I don't think the cartridge fits.
Nope.
But I owned it.
I
played it for 10 minutes.
I
lost it.
You lost it.
I won't say I lost it. I just don't know where it is right now.
Well, now you can go and probably pay, what is it, like $10 to play it on your virtual console.
That sounds about right.
Which, I don't know.
$7?
It doesn't.
I think they're usually $7 for Super Nintendo games. I think $10 for Nintendo 64.
I didn't get to look at the price before I left the house, but I don't know. I think I'd be kind of turned off by the visuals, because
with that pre-rendered stuff.
I don't know. I'd have to give it a try. I mean, I'm not a
okay
big graphics person, but sometimes I'm just like,
graphics aren't everything, Caleb.
I know.
Gosh.
Make the HD.
It's a classic.
That's one reason why
it's made by Squaresoft, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's made by Square. What they used to be.
Squaresoft.
Which is kind of why I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII on the PC, because it's basically
because of Super Mario RPG.
No, because it's blocky and everything.
Blocky's nice.
Ocarina of Time, I'll still play that. That looks good. Like the original, because I guess that's what I grew up around, because I started with Super Mario 64. But so look forward to that. That's pretty interesting. I know a lot of people have been asking for that specific game on the Virtual Console, I think.
Virtual Console.
So Kyle, what is our nerd vocab for today?
Our nerd vocab for today is Monopoly. The end. Monopoly is the exclusive possession or control of the supply or trade in a commodity or service.
Walmart. Sorry, I missed it. What?
What do they have a monopoly on?
What do they not have a monopoly on? They have a gas station. They have
other people have gas
toys.
stations?
No.
Other people have toys?
They have a specific Walmart gas station. They have Sam's Club. They have auto stuff at Sam's Club.
It's not a monopoly.
They sell oil. They
So
have their
other
own
people-
oil rigs.
That's not a monopoly. Other
That
people
is a
own
monopoly.
Oil. No, other people have oil. If only they had oil, that would be a monopoly.
They're probably selling their oil to other companies. Yeah, monopolies used to be a thing, and they're supposed to not be a thing. They're actually illegal, but Walmart's finding ways around it. But anyways, we won't talk about it. The reason why
It's not a monopoly.
it's a monopoly, they're trying to rule the world. Disney's a monopoly, I know that.
On what?
Everything.
On Mickey Mouse?
Yeah. But the reason why we're talking about that is if Rachel were here, she'd be delighted about this. But Final Fantasy VII gets its own official Monopoly board.
7?
Yeah,
Oh,
7.
I might be interested in that.
I'm not sure what the
Never
game
played
pieces
Monopoly
are.
before. I actually own a Nintendo themed Monopoly board, which
So do
I
I.
have not opened because I don't know how to play Monopoly.
You've seen my Nintendo board, haven't you? Monopoly
Maybe.
board. But so if you're a Monopoly fan and you like Final Fantasy VII, there you go.
And or
We
just like Final Fantasy 7. Don't like Monopoly. You can buy it too. Buy whatever you want.
Monopoly's a fun game. It just takes long and it'll ruin your friendship. But other than that,
That's what I've heard. You gotta have friends for that to happen.
yeah. So what is Sony up to, Kyle? What's going on with that?
Sony is up to not planning to imitate Microsoft's Xbox and PC unification strategy, as is what the executives over there have suggested.
So basically, Microsoft has talked about, they've been talking about it for a long time, but integrating PC with their Xbox consoles, and you can play either one on either platform or something like that.
Kind of like a cross-platform operating system, kind of like what Apple does, maybe?
Yeah,
Android?
something like that. Yeah, which I don't know why they haven't done this before, because you think it'd be obvious. I think they were just trying to sell systems, sell consoles. But
Sometimes they do that.
yeah, but Sony won't be imitating this. They they don't have an operating system, and they don't have their own operating system. Not to mention, they don't sell any computers. They just stick with TVs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they got out of that. I still have my Sony. Was it Vail? It's their computers with the squiggly words that I don't know how to pronounce them. It's just weird characters, but I still have it from when I graduated high school on my little Sony laptop.
Huh.
But they don't do that anymore because they was bleeding out some money a few years back, so they had to do some cutbacks. I think they sold their phone division too, didn't they?
They had a phone division.
The Sony Ericsson. And they also have like a PlayStation phone called the Xperia Play or something like that. It played like virtual console PlayStation games or something.
I do remember the original PlayStation, the GameCube for that matter. They had basically really early internet connection that was very, very, very basic, very minimum. But you could do it. You'd have to pay for some special kind of satellite hookup. This is back in the 90s. This is when things were good. Because that's the way Phantasy Star Online worked. Was, you had your system and you hooked it up to the satellite. And I know the 64 had something like that, or was it? No, it was the
Super Nintendo?
No. It was the Sega
Dreamcast.
I think it was the Dreamcast, right?
They had online stuff. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and you had to pay special fees and stuff like that.
I think the
for
Super
that.
Nintendo had something you could connect to the internet or to like a cable service
Probably
or something. It was like the Seattle View.
It's probably only in Japan.
Yeah, it didn't come here.
Yeah.
They had like a special Zelda on it or something. It's the only reason I know about it.
Oh yeah, wait, was it? No, it wasn't. I don't know. This was back when. I don't
How
have
did we
any
get on
of
this
that information.
tangent?
We're talking about how they're not doing cross-platforms, talking about other computers and things like that. So, speaking of PlayStation, the PlayStation VR pre-orders are all sold out. They're not taking any more pre-orders, which is kind of funny because I thought pre-orders were saying, hey, make me one.
No, it's kind of like
reserving your
one for
copy,
me.
But to me, I feel like if I pre-order it, I, should... But
magically make one just for you?
Yes, magically make one just for me.
That'd be nice.
That's what I feel like.
I think pre-ordering is just like getting the first stock.
Yeah.
A little ship out of their shipments.
But apparently they're all sold out, which I didn't think that was a big hype train for anybody.
I haven't heard anybody too excited about it, and I'm interested in VR.
Unless they just made like 10, and then they said make pre-orders now.
How much are they?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure.
They showed that off at E3, didn't they?
Sony VR.
Because the only thing I've watched from
it's about
this last E3 was
$400.
Breath of the Wind. $400? Ooh.
Yeah.
Does that come with? Is that just a headset?
Comes with their Move system, some kind of bar. It looks like it has cameras on it, and the headpiece.
Is that the PlayStation 4i?
No, it's the VR.
I mean, the camera thing.
Could be. I remember back in
so that's
PlayStation
would
2.
You say $400?
Yeah.
And how much is the PS4?
400.
3? It's $400.
Spend $800 on it. They will probably package that together and sell it for maybe $800 or possibly even $7 or $6. Because I know actual PS4 prices have gone back a little bit, not too much. I think it might be at $350 now.
I know Xbox One has cut back. I know I was at I think it was Target or Walmart. I saw one that was cheaper than the Wii U, like by $20. I was like,
20.
that is very interesting.
That is. That's. Do you think it was used? But it's
No,
at Walmart.
no, it's at Walmart.
So, that's a pretty big rollback. Say so myself. But so yeah, if you thought about getting one, well, you're just gonna have to wait till they make more.
I'm gonna have to follow that because I am interested in VR, although I have not experienced it.
I've experienced it. I'm not.
I have played on a Virtual Boy. I had a cousin. It was a cousin. I had a cousin that had one. I thought it was pretty cool, but I was only like, when did Space Jam come out?
That's like 1999, maybe.
9. I might have been about 9 years old.
Maybe even 98, something like that.
Too young and innocent to know how terrible it was, but I thought it was pretty cool. Of course, I didn't realize it was in 3D. I was probably too young to comprehend that. I just thought it was cool. You stick your head into a little box and play a red game.
Their website is still up.
Space Jam?
The Space Jam website is still... and it looks like it was made in the 90s, so...
I heard they're making a Space Jam 2 with LeBron.
Yeah, something like that. Which
I want to say that sounds cool, but I went back and rewatched Space Jam recently.
Oh, no, 1996.
96? That's how old I was when I played the... I thought the Virtual Boy come out that time? I guess it did. Because I remember I had a Space Jam themed birthday party at his house. Because he had a pool.
Let's see real quick. Should be real quick. 1995.
95?
95. It was a price of $180 back then. Think about
Which back
inflation.
then, that was like $2 billion.
Yeah, really. It was expensive. And then they discontinue it the following year.
I'd like to own one.
I think Jeremy has one. I'm pretty sure he does.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Someone's selling it on eBay for $400.
Yeah.
So there you go.
PlayStation VR?
Virtual Boy. Headaches or modern technology?
Pretty tough decision.
If you say so. So we're going to be moving on to the last bit of the show. We're going to move on to tech news. There's a bit of controversy going around. There's a flaming goose meme.
You gotta be a little more specific than that.
That's it. It's the flaming goose meme. It's just a flaming goose meme.
A picture of a goose. Was it on fire?
It's
is it a real goose?
Its head's on. It looks okay.
Is it a redhead goose?
You're a digital media student, right?
Sometimes.
You know about photo tricks and things like that?
You mean like Photoshop?
Could be Photoshop. Could be just the angle of the camera at which you take a shot. The angle or the Photoshopped picture looks like there's a goose. It looks like it's just kind of looking like a side face, and it looks like it's walking by, but its head's on fire, but it's completely calm.
And that's a meme.
It's apparently a meme. Back in 2010, it's when
2010.
2010 or 29 or something like that. 2009.
That was.
Let's see.
That was a long time ago. They didn't have memes back then.
Yeah. Well, now it's apparently gotten popular again or something like that. But Facebook is going around.
Meme hipsters.
Facebook is going around and censoring these pictures
because looks like it's on fire.
Yeah.
Animal cruelty and such.
And a lot of people are like, "That's animal cruelty." Blah blah blah.
I mean, maybe the goose wanted to be on fire. He looks pretty chill about it.
I know, right?
I don't think he is on fire. Or it might be a stuffed goose. Or maybe he's just going Super Saiyan.
A Super Saiyan goose.
We'll make sure that that's popped up on the screen.
Great.
Do it, Caleb.
So I don't want to. Anyways, there's more editing for me. Basically, animal activists, PETA or whatever, like, so Facebook's going around and censoring, saying, "Oh, this may have adult content or violence or whatever in it." It's just something stupid and funny that's happened on the internet recently. So, thought I'd share that.
Oh, internet.
So, what is we talked about Sony. What's Microsoft doing?
Microsoft is. You tell me, Caleb. Microsoft is now forcing people to upgrade to Windows 10.
After it said you can upgrade or not, you choose if you want to upgrade or not.
Yeah, I think it already did that to my dad. Like, it did it for him, and he didn't. He said, "I don't want to," but it happened. But that was before I made the choice to upgrade to Windows 10, which is weird. I wasn't getting prompted to do so. It's kind of weird. The only reason I really did it was because my computer was having problems. I'm like, well,
mine too.
And this was before Windows 10 was announced, and it was just kind of. So I don't think like Windows 10 was like, let's mess up this computer so it'll upgrade. So
yeah,
I think it did fix my problems, but it brought some new ones there. But I think Windows 10 is pretty A-okay.
I haven't had any problems with mine. Of course, this is my laptop. Don't really do much with it. The only problems I had were on my desktop at home, where some of my devices weren't working, or the audio was messed up. But I had to upgrade the drivers, obviously. But that was about it. That's the only problem I've had.
Is it still free?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
It'd be pretty bad if it wasn't. They were forcing you to do it.
If they force you to download it, then they shouldn't charge you. But I can see where a mix-up like that would happen. But basically they're saying, well, we gave people the option. We kind of did it like, okay, it's coming. You need to get ready for it, right? And but this one woman, her computer upgraded without them telling her, and it got completely messed up. So
That's
she's now,
fun.
She's now getting money from Microsoft for it. But the reason Microsoft is doing it, they said
that's why you're always supposed to have all your stuff backed up.
Yep.
Public PSA.
And the
Back
reason
up your pictures.
The reason why they're doing this though is because they say, well, we're not supporting Windows 8 or 7 anymore, pretty much. And if you have a really old operating system, you need to upgrade so you can so your computer will continue to work and not, like, our problems and stuff like that. Since they're not supporting Windows 7, we couldn't really fix it. Or at least I wasn't able to fix mine at all. because my computer was having some issues. But, Kyle, are you ready to serve our robot overlords?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet? Well, too bad, because Boston Dynamics has made a giraffe robot.
I sneezed in surprise. What?
So, it does look like a really lanky kind of giraffe, and it can pick things up with its mouth.
Isn't that the dog robot?
No.
Is it the one that looks like...
That's the cheetah. But this one is part cheetah, part giraffe.
Is it the one that like picks up your dishes and...
Yes.
I thought that was a dog.
But with the mouth. It has a mouth,
dog.
so it'll do this.
So it's either a dog or a baby giraffe.
It's a giraffe.
It's a robot. Either way, it's a robot.
It's a robot, and soon they will rise up and they will conquer the world. And then
I believe it because that
they'll
thing
use
I've
us
seen
as
that
power source.
That looks incredibly creepy.
So good job, Boston Dynamics. You're starting the Matrix. Kyle, what's been going on with YouTube? What's happened recently?
The Purge.
The Purge?
The Purge happened.
The Purge.
Somebody uploaded the Purge movie to YouTube, and YouTube took it down because you're not allowed to upload stuff that's copyrighted. And frankly, I'm on YouTube's side with this because they don't have any business uploading that movie to YouTube. Without,
I'm sure people have done that, but that's not exactly what we're talking about. Basically, if you're a content creator on YouTube, you might have noticed that a lot of your subs have gone missing. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands.
That explains why I only have
Maybe
20 subscriptions right now.
How many did you have?
Like 20 million? I think it was, yeah, it was about 20.
It's about 20. I haven't been messed with, but basically YouTube is going around and kind of have this great subscriber cleansing.
Are they getting rid of like fake subscribers?
They're getting rid of fake subs, dead. When we say dead,
inactive accounts.
Inactive accounts, exactly.
Okay.
Inactive accounts, fake accounts. A lot of people will pay someone to go and subscribe to their channel.
That's all over the internet.
I haven't done this.
Fake likes. And
fake likes.
Followers
like
on Twitter.
I'm not about that life, but if you want to, I could just probably make a vlog and get, or put a thumbnail with boobies on it and get 100,000 views. But
I just got my view. I'm like, what?
What? Where?
I heard boobies.
But basically, don't freak out. Unfortunately, two people I am subscribed to, Categories, he just gotten 500,000, and then Funos, they just got their million. But of course, with them being big YouTubers, a lot of their subscribers went out, so Funos went from a million back down to 9,046, something like that. Kind of sad because they were like, "Yeah, we reached a million." Next day, just gone.
They get to have that exciting moment at least one more time.
I can't. And Categories, he just did a 500,000 subscriber special video.
Awkward.
Yeah, that's kind of
a little bit of a bummer.
Kind of sucks for those guys, but I haven't been messed with it. I haven't had anything happen to me. I still have 62.
Just because you can't afford fake subscribers.
I can't afford fake subscribers, and I'm not trying to make a living on YouTube right now. Maybe one day, but not right now. It's just a hobby. But that'll be it here for today's show, and hope the lights don't go out again before we finish talking about this. Speaking of YouTube, you can find this episode on Strangely Entertaining if you're watching this on television or radio. It's capital S, capital E. If you can't find it, just look for the Nerd Edification Hour. You can find me on the Twitter at Nerd Edification. Twitch is also Strangely Entertaining, but you'll actually be able to find me because since I started out that way, I guess, I have to change my URL on YouTube, but I need 100 subscribers to do that. And then, obviously, you can find us on Facebook. Just look up the Nerd Edification Hour. Kyle, where can they find you at?
Just leave me alone. I don't want any. Go away.
You don't want any people else following your Twitter?
No.
He's got a good Twitter, though. I really wish you were in charge of my Twitter account, because I can't think of anything.
I wish somebody else was in charge of your Twitter account, too. Make Rachel do that.
Why can't you do it?
Because she's the one who went to college for public relations stuff, didn't she? Communication, same
like
thing. Same thing.
I want you to do it. You're good at it. But anyways, that'll be here for today's show. And until next time, stay fancy.
I concur. Do that. Stay fancy. Don't ever not be fancy. We need more fancy people on this earth right now. It's not as fancy as it could be.
Bye. I don't know how to respond to that one. So, Kyle, did you know that there's a second season of a certain show on AMC? What's that?
That would be Preacher. Preacher has been renewed for a second season. I do not know much about Preacher besides apparently based off a comic book series. There seems to be an upside down church in the previews, and somebody has a shotgun. There may or may not be a preacher. And that's basically all I know about that. Of course, if you don't know what it is, then I'm not much help to you. I am scared of the dark. It is on AMC, which has brought you such shows as Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead, so you know it's probably going to be good, or is good, especially since it got renewed for a second season. Alright, you remember when I said that Jeremy killed Rachel?
Yeah.
He's here to kill us. That is exactly what's going on right now. Ooh, I'm a ghost. Ooh. Wouldn't it be nice to get away? We should keep this in the show. We now return to the Halloween edition of the Nerd Edification Hour.
It's nowhere near Halloween.
We'll save it. That's the surprising part. Halloween came early. If I may put forth a slice of personal philosophy, I believe that man has ruled this world as a stumbling, demented child king long enough. And as his empire crumbles, my precious Black Widow will rise as his most fitting successor. These words he speaks are true. We're all human errors too, if we don't pledge allegiance to
light. Does it look purple to you?